Shalom and welcome again to Simple Biblical Hebrew. Yevarekacha Adonai. Pray you're having a blessed day. And today we want to continue on with our study of Mizmor Kaf Gimel, or the Psalm 23. And last time we saw that Jesus, Yeshua, is actually found right here in the first verse. The Lord is my shepherd. And so we see it here in Hebrew, Adonai Roi, or God's proper name, is my shepherd. Mizmor LeDavid, the Psalm of David, Adonai Roi. So today we want to finish up with the rest of the verse, Lo Achasar, and that way you can actually pray Psalm 23 verse 1 this week. Each day when you wake up and all day long, just start memorizing this one little prayer in Hebrew, and I believe it'll bless your heart. Adonai Roi Lo Achasar. And so you can continue to learn the rest of the psalm in Hebrew later, but just that one verse this week. And remember, as we learned from last time, you can say, Jesus is my shepherd, Jesus Roi, or Yeshua Roi, or Adonai Roi. So Yehoshua, as we saw, Jesus' name in Hebrew, Roi. Because, he even taught us that he is our shepherd. If you were to look at Yochanan, the Gospel of John, chapter 10, Jesus said to them again, right here in verse 7, Truly I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. If anyone enters through me, he will be saved, and will go in and out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. That really sums up Lo Achasar. Here's the Hebrew word for no. It's a lamed and an aleph, lo. And it means no. And then Achasar, means, literally, I be in need. The aleph is a prefix, and it means I here. And then the shoresh, or the root, is chasar. Chasar is the Hebrew word for, to lack, to need, to be lacking. It's used 23 times in Tanakh, and so it's a word that means to be in need. And so because Yeshua is our shepherd, we won't be in need. Lo achasar. I won't be in need. The aleph is I. So when you pray it, you say lo, or no, which is I, chasar, be in need. Adonai Roi Lo Achasar. But let's go back again to Yochanan chapter 10 and continue on with Jesus' discussion here. He said, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly, right? That reminds us of Lo Achasar. We'll see later that he's going to make our cups overflow and everything in this psalm. But continuing on here in verse 11, Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. He sees in Psalm 23 messianic fulfillment, and he sees it in himself. He says, a good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. He who is a hired hand and not a shepherd, who is not the owner of the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf snatches them and scatters them. He flees because he's a hired hand and is not concerned with the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and I know my own, and my own know me. Even as the Father knows me, I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep which are not of this fold, and I must bring them also. And they will hear my voice, and they will become one flock with one shepherd. This is Jesus referring to himself as the great shepherd of his people, even prophesying there that he would not only come to his own, but to other sheep. And those other sheep are the Gentile nations. I have other sheep which are not of this fold, and I must bring them in also. So Yeshua is the shepherd of the sheep. Yeshua was David's shepherd, and you can bet when he prayed Adonai Roi Lo Achasar, even though he might not have known as much as we know today about Mashiach, because Jesus hadn't come yet he knew that this was going to be fulfilled in Messiah, and he looked forward to that day, just as the scriptures tell us. So, kind of adding to last week's study, the whole idea that you can insert Yeshua's name here, Yeshua Roi. He's our shepherd. He taught this in John chapter 10. He taught that he would bring us life abundantly. We won't have any need. Lo achasar. We won't have any chasar emotionally or spiritually or monetarily. He will take care of all of our needs because he is our shepherd and we are his sheep, and he lays down his life for us. That's not a prosperity teaching. We do know that troubles will come in order to refine us and to make us more like him. But we can trust that in the end, his goodness will always see us through, and he'll lead us to green pastures, and he'll lead us through the valley of the shadow of death, as we'll see later in this psalm. So Jesus is definitely a fulfillment of Psalm 23 for us Messianic believers, and we can pray with good conscience. Yeshua is our shepherd, right? Yeshua Roi, Lo Achasar. So I hope you can learn to pray that in Hebrew this week. It's not difficult. It's really short. It's a good goal to pray, Lord, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. Or Adonai Roi, Lo Achasar. I hope to see you next time as we continue on into verse 2. I hope that blesses you, and I hope you see Jesus in that first verse, and I hope it changes. I hope it changes the way you see Psalm 23 forever. The Lord bless you. We'll see you next time.